Hey, what's up, viewers? For the night, of course, where this is my last night of all, after having a relaxation time to myself. I'm in my gym there, gonna get ready for tomorrow. I had to go to a doctor's appointment, and of course, I got me a fresh Jamaican, me happy type of sangrianess. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, yep, it's good. But real quick, what I wanted to say was the moment where I say that I'm giving grace and understanding and compassion to others is by keeping myself at a distance. In terms, like what I would say is like I'm protecting people by isolating myself from certain people that I should not be around, whether it's coworkers, certain friends, like people I care about, and family members. Because, excuse me for that. Because it's one thing you should understand is it's good to be around certain people that you can connect with, but if they do you no good and you feel as though they mean you no harm, but when you get the vibe of something being wrong with them, it's best to just cut it off and remove yourself where it's safe. Especially kind of like, let's say, for example, if you face public humiliation rituals where somebody talks shit to try to get under your skin to get you angry so you would react and be like, ha ha, I got you. It's not a joke. It's nothing funny about humiliating people um, at the expense of just having you look like a fool. Because people only do these things for one or two reasons, like one, jealousy, two, envy, three, resentment, four, bitterness, and five, just out of insecurity. My best way I can describe it is usually all the above. It's insecurity. And basically what I'll say is like, alright, when I said that I'm protecting people by keeping them away from me, if I can't keep them away, I remove myself from them. Like, whatever it's at work or anywhere else. And a way of just saying that, okay, if I run into trouble, you won't be the target to join me, and you go down for attacks that are not meant for you, and you won't be in the way of a crossfire where you're a target and you can't get out of it. I mean, certain people can protect themselves um, when it comes to stuff like this. I mean, of course, while they're grown and everything. But the problem is, when you're around people behind power and authorities, it's 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 complicated. It's hard to do because, for one, you will be overpowered. Two, whatever you say, or even if you try to say something to stand up for yourself to or defend yourself, too, usually gets turned around. Where it will involve gaslighting, psychological manipulation. Be like, I'm not saying it like that. I'm not. I'm not saying something wrong like that. You're taking it the wrong way. That's emotional, psychological abuse. Manipulators, master manipulators want you to believe things that they are not doing, they're not doing or saying to get you caught up in something to have you think that they're not up to they're not up to anything tricky when they are. They want you to believe them and and understand the fact that they're not in terms like they're not trying to start no bullshit with you when they are. They just don't want you to know what they're up to. So it's like my best way of protecting people I care about, where I have to think of myself, where others can think of me is like an anti-hero, both good and bad. Sometimes I gotta be both in the middle of both sides to survive. Because I feel as though that since I have a quote-unquote problem with being a people-pleasing helper, I mean, I help people at times, but I feel as though since I'm letting certain things go and I'm outgrowing certain habits, the best way I can do is to, by staying away from people I care about, it would mean like if they struggle, if they run into problems, I won't be in the middle to do anything. I'll give them advice if needed. I'll give them helping hands if needed, but I won't do the problem solving for them. Because since I did that before, invading in other people's business when it wasn't my concern, I had to worry about myself. That's gotten me into trouble. So I said to myself, no more. No more trying to put on the cape, being Superman, trying to save the days, save the world when I can't. I can only do half of what I can do, but I can do the best of what I can do, only control what I can control, but I know the rest is up to God. He's the main, he's the main hero of the whole universe, where he created the world himself. And I had to remember that I'm only one person, just like everybody else, and I can't save the world. Even if I'm a chosen one, a chosen type of person, I know the divine would remind me, just like everybody else, and say that one man or one woman, whoever is chosen, cannot save the whole universe. They can save the days, their day, or someone else's day, by just being themselves, doing the right thing, helping out when it's necessary, and leaving the rest to them. I mean, I learned that we all need help sometimes, but you can't always help everybody. Sometimes the best thing to do is just help yourself, help your own self, and take care of your own needs and your own problems. So that's usually part of that. So that's kind of what I wanted to say, is that by giving up control, breaking free from the curse of being an overridden anti-hero, I'm protecting individuals I care about by staying away from them, so they never end up like me, end up where I've been, facing the same problems, dealing with shit like freaking naysayers around me, or having to be softened up and pretty much pushed into a corner where they're just so scared and so intimidated, where they have nobody to look out for them, or they can't speak up because they're afraid to. So I thought, by giving up controlling things, that meant I'm giving up trying to be a savior to somebody, when then in actuality it's not my destiny to help anybody like that, if they should learn to help themselves. It's kind of like I'm removing myself from situations that are not my concern. Like if I see somebody struggling, I'm not putting myself at risk to help anybody if they got it and they probably can figure out a way on how to handle themselves, handle something themselves. Like, okay, if somebody is being late for work, for example, I'm not going to stop what I'm doing to help them get where they need to be so they be on time. If I got to be on time too, then I had to learn that their time is limited as mine is, and I can't stop what I'm doing just for them. I had to remind myself that to not put myself in the risk of a situation where somebody else is struggling and I'm facing struggles myself. Like, stay out of it and you won't have those problems. So that's my main tip. I want to give you, well, it's a little bit later, real quick, is don't put yourself in a situation at risk where you become a failure trying to help somebody else out, whether it's family, your friends, whoever. Let them handle whatever they got going on for themselves. You can be there for them, you can give them advice and everything, but the best thing is to let them find a way to set their own boundaries and let them find a way to solve their own problems without having anybody do it for them. Like, kind of like teach them how to solve a problem that they are afraid to do or haven't done before, because it's kind of like if you've had to learn how to handle some things, they need to learn too. And that was my only problem, was if I'm helping people too much, then I'm limiting their ability to learn for themselves. So that's mainly what I'm saying, is like, let people learn at their own ways, at their own pace. Don't always try to make the same mistake I made, being a savior to somebody else's situation just because they're struggling. I mean, it's okay to help, you know, sometimes. You can help people if they don't ask for it, or even if they think they don't need it, but the point is to not overly help too much. So, that's all I'm saying. Sometimes you gotta let certain things slide for your own benefit, but you gotta remember that your needs come before anybody else. Sometimes it's okay. I learned it's okay to be selfish in a way of taking care of yourself and let them figure whatever it is they got going on, figure out for themselves. But if you got your own priorities and your own set of limitations and responsibilities to take care of, sometimes you just gotta let others go, let them do their own stuff, figure it out themselves. Even if they be like, it's okay, I'll figure it out myself. Just say, okay, let them learn for themselves, let them figure it out, and you don't feel bad. Even if you do, it's okay. But the best thing to do is remember that everybody has their own set of mindsets and their own ways of thinking. And the goal is to not be a savior for everybody around you, because that's impossible. Nobody is ever going to be saved, not even a situation, not in the way of how they think. Just like how I had to learn. That's how I always got freaking burned out so much, being everything for everybody. I mean, of course I was motivated to want to do things, because I thought at 30 years old, I had to learn to be a man, to figure out ways on how to solve certain problems, and learn how to navigate around certain obstacles. While my supervisor, Sharon, was teaching me ways on how to handle certain work tasks without questioning it. I told my mom I did those things, the extra stuff, because I wanted to motivate myself to try. I felt like since I was motivated to work a little harder, be more consistent, be more um, um, self-advocate, to improvise and do the work well and stuff like that. I said to myself that these things are going to get difficult, but I'm going to motivate myself to try. And whatever works, then that's great. If everything didn't work out well, then the important thing is I did my best. So that's just my whole tip for you guys, is when you see this, to remember that you're not always going to satisfy everybody. You're not always going to do everything right. Sometimes mistakes and types of shit is gonna happen. But the important thing is that it's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to say no to things that are too much and too exhausting for you. You're not the bad person for saying no. You're more than likely the smart person for accepting things that are too much for you, that you don't need to put so much weight on yourself for. You don't need to accept every amount of weight of burdens that are kind of like this, that are putting like too much weight being put on you on top again and again and again. You don't need to accept too much weight on you if it's already heavy enough and you're being weakened down to fall all the way down because it's too heavy. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. You gotta let things go. Alright. So that's about it for tonight. Sleep well. Have a good night, everybody. Remember this tip. From what I said, always say no when too much is enough. And always remember that if you did the best you could for somebody or a few people, let it be that. And protect people you care about in the same way. And like, don't involve them in situations that aren't for them. Like, even if you make friends or anything like that, it's important to keep people, safe, away from your circle. Because if you're going through things, you don't want to be at the limit cost of bringing people into certain situations where it's not for them, when them themselves will lead to themselves getting into trouble or facing problematic situations that you face. It's not always a good idea, you know. So remember those tips. Keep those in mind, and of course, send me your post notifications on what you feel and how you think about that type of stuff, and how excuse me, and how you would help some people in a matter of giving grace and reminding others that if I don't want you to end up like me, stay out of the situation and you won't ingest the poisons of humiliation rituals and all types of emotional abuse like I have. It's like I would say, you'll be telling people you won't endure the same problems from anybody in power to punk you and belittle you if you stay out of it. If you don't try to involve yourself where you put yourself at risk. All right. So that's about it for now. Sleep well, and happy Monday for tomorrow. Pretty sure I know it'll be a better Monday for certain people. I don't know about everybody, but me. Like, it'll be worth it. Like, it'll just be a fresh start. Just start a new day, you know. I mean, this weekend's been fun. I mean, I didn't do much, so I've just played my game and relaxed a little bit. But at least that's the moment of just having a relaxing break of what you get. You take what you can get, and you be grateful for it. All right. Well, sleep well. Good night, everyone, and peace out for now.